Hey y'all, I'm Tammy, and this is Colored Valley Cooks, where we specialize in cooking just like our mamas did. Today, we are making a homemade from scratch corn pudding. It is the best ever. You will find the recipe on the website, and it's also in our master cookbook. The corn pudding recipe is 657. That's recipe 657 in our master cookbook. Today, we'll be using 5 ears of fresh corn, half cup of chopped onion, a quarter cup of chopped bell pepper, 3 tablespoons of salted butter or bacon grease, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, a half teaspoon of black pepper, 2 cups of whole milk, a third cup of self-rising flour, 3/4 cups of self-rising cornmeal mix.
You're going to use 4 eggs
and 10 ounces of grated cheese to melt on the top once the pudding has set up in the oven. We're going to bake this at 350 degrees. Now, I'm going to bring you up closer so you can see all the ingredients come together.
All right, you're going to chop up your onion and pepper and chop it pretty small since this is going in a pudding. Let's wash our corn, and you're going to scrub it really good. I like to use a scrubbing motion back and forth to remove most of the silks. It works really good. Now we're going to use the Rada Deluxe vegetable peeler to cut our corn off the cob. It does a really good job, as you can see here.
Okay, and you can see when you cream corn, it does splatter everything around it. So get ready for it to make a mess. But it's worth it because it tastes so good when it's fresh and off the cob compared to out of the can or freezer. If you don't have one of these nice little strainers in the bottom of your sink, they're really nice to have. They just have mesh on them. And that way you don't get the silks down in the drain.
If you're enjoying this video, please give us a like. If you're new to the channel, please head down, hit that subscribe button, and click that bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded.
If you're currently watching this, Rada has actually got a sale on over the next couple of days. Now, if you watch this a week later, it's not going to apply. But if you watch this week, Rada has got a site-wide sale, 22% off for just several days. So if you'd love to get one of these deluxe peelers to do your corn with, or one of these wonderful tomato knives, like me and Chris used today, to make our BLT, you can get those today 22% off. It's a great time to buy gifts. They have gift sets. So I thought I'd throw that in there for you. Let you in on a sale. I'll put the coupon code in the description below. You're going to add a couple of tablespoons of butter. You're going to add your half cup of onion and your peppers, and you're going to saute it. Now, I chose to use my iron skillet because I'm going to make the corn pudding in the oven in this same skillet, and that way I don't have to mess up something else, and it'll work great, and I think it'll be really pretty in iron when it's done. So we're just going to let that simmer there. You can also use a little bacon grease if you have some. I actually have just a little bit because me and Chris had a BLT today. I'm going to add it to it just for flavor, just a little. While we're waiting on that, we're going to mix up. You're going to add 2 cups of whole milk. We're going to add 3/4 cups of self-rising cornmeal mix. That's a half. And this is a quarter, so that's 3/4 cup of self-rising cornmeal mix. You're going to add a 1/3 cup of self-rising flour. You're going to mix that up. We're going to go ahead and put our salt and pepper in here as well. So you're going to have 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And a half teaspoon of black pepper. And now we're going to add eggs. We're going to beat 4 eggs and put them in here. Four eggs. This is our last one. You're going to beat the eggs. And add them into your milk. I'm using a 4-cup. I want you guys to tell me if you've ever had corn pudding, if your mama made it, or if you've tried my recipe. All of this. We're going to beat that good. You're going to have your oven turned to 350 degrees. All right. Now, you're going to get your corn that you cut off the cob and creamed, and you're going to add this to it. Now, that ought to make a pudding. That's for sure. And then you're going to mix it really good. Now I'm going to add my peppers and onions to it. My daddy loves this dish. My sister makes it for him all the time. All right, there's our corn pudding. All we got to do is bake it. And you put cheese on it before you get it out of the oven. So I'm going to spray this. You can use a baking dish. If you don't have one of these large skillets, that's fine. You're going to pour your corn in here. Just like that. All right, it says to bake it 30 minutes at 350 degrees. And then you're going to top it with cheese and let it bake long enough for the cheese to melt. Okay, so we're going to slide this into the oven. It's cooled off enough that I can touch it now. And that corn is so pretty against that cast iron. I knew it would be. That's pretty deep. I'm not sure that it's going to get done in 30 minutes. All right, it is ready to put the cheese on there. And I got a big bag of cheese because it was on sale at Kroger. And this is cheddar jack, shredded cheese, mild cheddar, and Monterey Jack cheeses. You can use any cheese you want to use, okay? And you can omit the cheese if you want to do that too. And you can see that it's not set up in the middle, but it's set up about that much on the side. Now, if it's jiggling, it's not done. And I don't really think I should put the cheese on there yet because it's still jiggly. And I did use a good bit of ingredients in this. So we're going to let this cook at least 20 more minutes before we add the cheese to it. Lots of times my times can change when it comes to baking something in the oven. The amounts can change in the container, and the temperature can vary a little bit. So always make sure if you're cooking something that it's good and hot before you pull it out of the oven. If it's something like corn pudding, it needs to set up all the way across, or dressing, especially this Thanksgiving. Make sure you cook it until it's done all the way across and there's no jiggling in the middle, all right? Okay, I did put this on convection, so instead of 20 minutes, I cooked it 10 more minutes, and it's ready to put the cheese on. Now I'm just going to cook it another 10 minutes on convection. It'll give that cheese time to melt, and it may brown the cheese a little bit. And then we're going to dip this out some and get a bite. This is one of my daddy's favorites. I know it will be one of your favorites too. I hope you give it a try. And it is so much better when you use the fresh corn, but you can use frozen corn and then a can of corn drained if you want to. I have an option for that. All right, it's done. We're going to get it out of the oven. It looks delicious. Ooh, it smells so good. All right, I got us a spoon. I'll dip some of this out. I'm going to show you how delicious it is. This is a great recipe. Just another great recipe out of our master cookbook. This is a really good recipe. I hope you guys give it a try. It is really delicious. It is a great recipe, and I hope y'all give it a try. If y'all try this, you'll be making it again. And it is such a special recipe. It would be great on the Thanksgiving table. And we thank you so much for watching Collard Valley Cooks, where we cook like our mamas did. Y'all get that master cookbook and be a master Southern cook.